Thursday, August the 11th, 2022, and I'm in Bayford, East Hertfordshire. Didn't plan on doing this walk again today, but thanks to the expected 31 degrees later today, I didn't want to chance my arm with Network Rail. Now the reason I say that is because their rails are stressed to 27 degrees apparently, and with temperatures down on the track being in the mid-30s, the chances are today there will be some cancellations, etc. So I was planning on doing another Suffolk walk 2.5 hours away, but that would have been a bit too risky, I reckon, based on previous experience of the railways. So here I am, half an hour away from home in East Hertfordshire, undertaking a North Herts Ramblers walk, which actually starts in Essendon for them. It's walk number 251, but I'm starting it here in Bayford, which is just a few hundred yards off the GPS track, but should work. It's about 10.5 miles, and as I've already indicated, we've got a cracking day. Blue sky, not a cloud in it. Bit of an easterly breeze again, which is very welcome, and yeah, slightly warm for walking. Doesn't usually bother me though. But let's see if I'm saying that at lunchtime, which today will likely be at Wildhill, where there is not a church unfortunately. So let's see what I can find. Bayford incidentally is on the Hertford North branch, and gave me an opportunity to try the new platform at Stevenage, platform 5, which has closed this line for various periods of time over the last recent years. Can't remember when it opened, but it's probably been a good year now. So it's around 11:30. Should be done by about 4:30, 5, I reckon. Baker Arms, as you can see advertised there. So I turn right, having come out the station, down this quiet, hopefully, country lane. So entering Bayford, and the road is quite quiet, which is good. And as you can hear in the background, kites flying around somewhere. So just stood here by public byway 8, White Stubbs Lane and Stocking Lane, and depending on which way you do this walk, we're now on the GPS track. If I was to turn left here and go anti-clockwise, no, clockwise, let's get it right, that is an option, but I'm going to continue straight on past a moat on the map, which is behind this hedge somewhere. Next to the village sign here, with some horses taking shelter. A little bit of information here about a church in Bayford. (1977) Jubilee tree, which looks like a sycamore, I think. Not in great condition because of the drought at the moment. That horse there is clearly in distress. That's why he's nodding his head up and down. Poor things. Have they got any water? Shocking if they haven't. Don't see any. Anyway, my onward journey at this kind of, what is it, 1, 2, 3 road junction is past a Baker's Arms straight on. Passing a village pond on my right. Passing the Baker's Arms. Opening hours there. Passing the Memorial Hall. Now leaving Bayford on Essendon Road, which is quite busy actually, and I'm now on the 60-mile-an-hour bit of it, as you can see. 30 mile an hour behind me. So finally we get off the lanes, and as you can see we have been on the Hertfordshire Way again. So just past Bayford House and South Cottage here. Take a right, continue down this lane. We're on both the Chain Walk and the Hertfordshire Way here. Just about to pass into the cooling Bayford Wood, hopefully. Ahead of us here, there is some mild jet noise in the background. Stansted, of course, not being far away. Very pleasant mixed ancient woodland here. Very cooling as well. Thank God there's still some leaf cover. Otherwise we would be in trouble. There seems to be a lot more leaf litter around at this time of year though, because of the drought, for sure. Very autumnal. And as you can see here, this plant, whatever it is really struggling. Wilted. Rain is forecast for next Monday, but how much we get remains to be seen. For sure it won't be enough. Going over this footbridge, and as you may have expected, hardly any water in this stream. Anglian, my local water company covering this area, now describe the reservoirs as being 70 to 80% full, so we're fine for this year. However, the same lady was also talking about them building 2 new reservoirs, one in Lincolnshire and one in the Norfolk Broads somewhere. So they are planning those reservoirs for the future, the next 50 to 100 years. So clearly they are not considering desalination, which is unbelievable. Neither are they looking at transporting water from the wetter parts of the country to the drier, of which we are one. So the utilities, in my humble, really do need to be renationalised and an overall national approach taken. It's absolutely shocking what's going on at the moment. So as you can see here, we're on our way towards Little Berkhamsted, which appeared on an earlier walk. Some kind of monument or folly up there on the hill. It's not indicated on the map other than being a monument. Onward path is clear. Lovely field of thistles here and ragwort. Nothing on them though, butterfly wise. No birds around, clearly too hot for them. Just by Garden Cottage there, across the lane, and we're now continuing to follow public footpath 9 towards Little Berkhamsted. So this is Little Berkhamsted Church, where I had, no, I didn't have lunch here I don't think, but one of those wooden towered churches of the Essex variety. It's another St Andrew. Passing the Five Horseshoes once again, which is opposite Emmy Murphy's village store, and by the look of that community bus, the bus stop. Just past the village store we're taking footpath 8 towards Epping Green across the sports field here, which is looking nicely tanned. Just leaving Little Berkhamsted, and I remember filming this previously on another walk. Come off the lane here, following the sign towards Danes Farm on the Hertfordshire Way still. This part of the walk is duplication, but in the opposite direction, because I remember commenting on these gorse bushes. High point of today's walk is around 416 foot, but we're not there yet. Another cooling section of mixed woodland, and as you can hear, pretty much silent apart from a blue tit in the background. I have seen birds like jays, magpies and crows, and some kites. Generally not much about though. Passing through Essendon Golf Club, which is duplication again of another walk. This river is absolutely dry. Wasn't last time I walked over it. The old snack van's still there. Handily placed as well, for those needing a quick respite. Fairways are parched, but the greens, as you'd imagine, still like green carpets. Not many out though. Mad dogs and Englishmen only at this time of day, coming up 1 o'clock, and obviously I'm one of them. The mad dogs, that is. Come away from the road here, continue on the Hertfordshire Way, across another sports field, passing the John Spragg Pavilion, and this is still duplication of a walk that escapes me at the moment. Another North Herts Ramblers one, mind you. So whereas last time I came in from that direction and went up the way I've just come, this time we continue straight on following footpath 13 here towards Essendon Brook, if there's any of it left. Very decent of them. Seems we're on a permissive path here. Although Hertfordshire County Council's footpath markers do not indicate permissive. So either that's an old sign or Hertfordshire County Council got the wrong markers up. I would say it's an old sign. No, there you have it. Essendon Brook dried up totally. I'm stood over it on the footbridge. shocking, isn't it? Another pigeon less. Looks like that was taken this morning. Classic East Herts scenery here. And jet noise in the background to go with it, unfortunately. Right, having just come through a squeeze gate at a junction of paths here, we take boat 14 left.
Total distance 4 miles.
At this juncture of paths here, continue right, byway 14, not footpath 16, which is left. Very pleasant section of shaded byway walking at the moment. Okay, leaving boat number 14 behind us, take a left here along this newly asphalted lane towards Wildhill for lunch. Passing the Woodman at Wildhill. Quite a busy B road again this. Haven't found anywhere appropriate for my lunch just yet. Another pond here, pretty much dried up. Passing an old chapel here. Which unfortunately doesn't have any seats outside. Now coming off the B road to walk down Hornbeam Lane, which funnily enough is opposite the path we were on originally, where it split earlier. Could have come along that to miss the pub. If you're not interested in the pub, you could stay on that left variant and come out here opposite. Another week, another stud farm. This time Warrenwood Manor stud and Warrenwood Manor on my right. Our onward journey straight on into another shady byway, and that's been one of the beneficial aspects of this walk today. Typical of East Herts, lots of shady byways to keep you out of the midday sun, which extends into the afternoon at the moment. Hotter temperatures are occurring around 3-4 o'clock. And in the absence of anything else today, this looks like an appropriate tree to be sitting on for lunch. Just off the lane. Opposite the stud on my left. Okay, 2:30, lunch has been had. So time to press on. 6.15 miles in we are at this point. So just over halfway. 32 degrees at the moment. So very pleasant in this shade anyway. Just seems very sad. We've got all this leaf litter. No bird song. All we've got at the moment is man's infiltrations, jet noise, diggers in the background, a couple of voices, not much coming from nature. I suppose nature's sensible and knows where to hide when it's inclement. Got a wonderful avenue of beech trees here, but they're the ones that are losing their leaves. In fact, I think I've got that wrong. These look like hornbeam. My mistake. And they are really suffering in this heat. Brown leaves on the trees, many leaves on the floor. I guess the name of the lane gives away the tree variety, doesn't it? So do a right here, walk down towards Birchwood Cottages. Another name giveawayer. So after Birchwood Cottages, do a right here where it's marked up New Park Lodge. Right, well out into the desert now, around 33 degrees, and I'm still on the Hertfordshire Way here. Not a cloud in the sky. Yeah, wonderful. I think that woodland on my right over there is North or Greatwood Country Park. Just passing the Crown in Newgate Street, and now St Mary's, which says Ponspawn. But I thought we were in Newgate Street, so a bit confusing. Can't get much of an angle on this church. This was too far into the walk to have lunch at anyway. Not that I can see any seats. And there's a little village cafe over there in the corner. Which is in the car park of the Coach and Horses, which actually says Newgate Street. So that's confusing. There was also a Thai restaurant in that pub. Okay, so here at Ponspawn Park, again Ponspawn, we do a left here, 3 miles to Bayford. So that'll give you some idea of how far there is to go. Ponspawn Park ahead of me there. (1876), and they've got pods there. It is interesting. Wonder if that's like the Japanese style pods. Capsules. Apples on the ground. Second week of August. Absolutely shocking. I have just reported this on Pathwatch, which is removed from active service on August the 23rd. So that is it. I'm taking it up with the MP, my MP, who's hopeless. So I'm going to raise it directly with DEFRA myself, because this kind of situation cannot keep going on. And there are so many other issues in the countryside to do with reporting of vegetation, unploughed fields, fields ploughed at the wrong time, navigational issues, style issues, etc, etc. Really do need a handheld gadget, as I continue to say. What a contrast to Suffolk last week, eh? Now, looking at these ash, got some more positive news on these. I think I mentioned it last week, can't remember. But from what I read, the ash tree, unlike the elm, has sufficient genetic variety to be able to withstand ash dieback in many cases. So although some will perish, it appears that not all of them will. So fingers crossed, our wonderful ash trees may well survive this pandemic, because it is certainly one for them. So let's keep fingers crossed and watch this space. A little bit of road walking here with no pavement. So after several hundred yards of dodgy road walking, as you can hear in the background, we come to Kingfisher Nurseries. And almost opposite the entrance to Kingfisher Nurseries, we have public byway 8, Bayford 1 mile, once again through cooling woodland. And there you go, some lazy so-and-so's dumped their garden refuse at the entrance to the woodland. Do need to find these people. The remnants of yet another dried up pond. Pleasant finale to the walk this is. Tree clad byway again. Just passing Keeper's Cottage and the Lodge, which are on the edge of Black Fan Wood on the map. So here we are, where I filmed earlier today, and I said I'd come out this way, Stocking Lane again. So now we're a short walk back to Bayford Station, which is this way. You got a feel for these cattle in this weather. I haven't seen any today other than these. I think a lot of them have been taken in because there's nothing for them to eat in the fields. They're all living on the winter forage already, so that's going to cause problems. And I don't see any water for these as well. Poor things. So here we are, 16:20, just as I anticipated. 4 hours 6 minutes, 11.2 miles. Decent walk. Mustn't grumble. Very pleasant day. And lots of variety and shade, most importantly, on that walk today. Could be a bit muddy, obviously, in the winter months. Something that seems totally alien at the moment, mud. Just ahead of me there is Pontsbourne Tunnel. So that word Pontsbourne again. That goes through to Cuffley, I believe. Next station. So yeah, not where I was expecting to be today. But I'm sure when I get back and see the news, I think I'll have made the right choice, because almost certainly these rails will be buckling, although this line seems to be running okay because my train is on time, in 6 minutes time actually, which is handy. Half hourly service here. So that's North Herts Ramblers group walk, E-walk 251, Essendon Circular, starting at Bayford, completed. And a very pleasant day it was. Can't say the heat affected me too much. 34 now. So until the next time, take care.